Let's get started. Hey everybody, and welcome to crossover episode number 4, a mashup between Peach Mag and Metatron Press. My name is Rochelle Toromino, and I'm the editor-in-chief of Peach Mag, joined tonight by a few other folks on the Peach Mag team. We've got Liz Bowen, who will be reading tonight, former Peach Mag poetry editor Sennah, who will also be reading tonight, as well as my co-host for the evening, the founder and managing editor of Metatron Press, Ashley Obscura. Thanks so much for tuning into this 4th event in our reading series, Crossover Episodes. For those of you who are new to Peach or this series, essentially, now that some of our events are transitioning back to in-person programming, we wanted to make sure that we still offered some virtual readings. Crossover episodes are mashup-style collaborations with fellow journals, small presses, literary organizations, and other collectives in the independent publishing world. I'm going to drop a link in the chat for anyone who's interested in learning more about crossover episodes. So this is our 4th one, and I'm really excited and honored, honestly, to be partnering with Ashley on this reading. Metatron was the first journal that ever published me. It meant the world to me, and I know that I'm not alone, and in fact, among my exact company tonight when I say that Ashley Obscura is low-key one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Tonight we have 6 amazing performers, some of my favorite people in the world, all Metatron authors and Peach contributors, including the 2 winners of the 2022 Metatron Prize for Rising Authors, Casey Bell and Jayson Keery. They're joined by pressmates Sennah, Liz Bowen, Alex Manley, and Sarah Jane Grimm. I'm going to drop another link in the chat with everybody's books. Before we get started, a few house rules. The usual, if you're a return guest, keep yourself muted. If your audio is on, you'll get muted. That being said, you're welcome to turn your video either on or off, but as a heads up, tonight's reading will be recorded and shared on YouTube. And finally, we encourage you to light up the chat, say hello to each other, hang out, celebrate the readers, type out your favorite lines, whatever you want. But we do reserve the right to bounce any trolls or haters, so cry about it. To give you a heads up, tonight's program will be broken up into 2 sets of 3 readers each, with a writing activity during intermission. Ashley is going to tell you more about that in a moment, but I would like to tease that there will be prizes that will be randomly awarded to a couple guests who participate. So participation is optional, but obviously encouraged. And yeah, enough from me. Now I'm happy to pass the mic over to my co-host, Ashley, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about how the night's going to go. Welcome, Ashley.
Ooh. Oh, I love the silent clap that's going off in my head. Hey, everyone. Wow, 20 of us. Lovely. I'm Ashley Obscura, and I'm the founder and managing editor of Metatron. And I'm obviously also a huge fan of Peach Mag. So this is just awesome. And there's so much overlap between the writers that Rochelle and I love to publish. So it's really, truly like the perfect place to collaborate. So just wanted to thank Rochelle for putting this together. And yeah, I'm not sure how much I should introduce Metatron, but I could say that I started the press about, I guess it was 9 years ago, and have had the great privilege of publishing close to 50 mostly debut books into the world. And there's been many, many events, over 50 events, some digital, most in person. And yeah, we're located in Montreal, Quebec, which is a lovely city that y'all should come visit anytime you want. And I guess the other thing I wanted to say is we're going to be doing a writing exercise, but to prepare yourself, pretty much what I would like within the first, we'll start with the beginning. The prompt is to get a pen and paper, or more preferably like access to a text editing doc. And throughout the readings, just jot down as many words as you want, but jot down words that pop out to you throughout the reading. And so your first assignment is mostly to listen, but yeah, throughout the duration of the readings, just to type down the words that stand out to you. And then eventually we're going to form these into micro poems. So I'll guide you through that through the intermission, and then we'll wrap up at the end. But just for now, listen and just write down words that tickle your imagination. And that should be a good place to launch us into the readings, Rochelle.
Okay, sweet. Did y'all see those instructions? I put it up a little bit late. Okay, listen to the readings and get out a piece of paper or a pen or a document on your computer and record some of your favorite moments from the reading. While I have the share screen front of mind, I want to show you something really fun. Or I think it's really funny, but this is, we've done many virtual events at this point, but I just want to share that the Peach and Metatron mashup, we had record number of responses. Do you guys see that? That's 30,032. So, it's pretty magic, I would say, that we're collabing like this. And it's, it's not that we got trolled by a bunch of bots or anything like that. It's totally that we had a grassroots, really good marketing strategy for the event. It looks like most people can't make it tonight. Things probably just came up. So let's get started. I am going to introduce the readers. We have, for the first set, we have Sennah, Sarah Jean, Casey, and then we'll break. Then we have Liz, Alex, and Jayson for the second set. So first up is Sennah Yee. Sennah Yee is from Toronto, where she writes poetry, prose, and film criticism. She's the author of the poetry collection, How Do I Look? And the children's book, My Day with Gong Gong. She is the co-creator and managing editor of the pop culture journal In the Mood magazine. Please welcome Sennah.
Yay! Thanks so much for having me. I love everyone in this Zoom room. I just keep seeing names I recognize, and yeah, thank you all so much for coming, and yeah, being the select out of the 30,000 people to join this special night. So yeah, I'm gonna read a bunch of new poems. I'm working on a collection of, to no one's surprise, movie-themed poems. So these are some poems from that collection. The first one is called Jackass the Movie. Hi, I'm Sennah Yee, and I'm going to send an email with no exclamation marks. Hi, I'm Sennah Yee, and I'm going to cut my own bangs. Hi, I'm Sennah Yee. I'm going to grow out my bangs. Hi, I'm Sennah Yee, and I'm going to get 8 uninterrupted hours of sleep. Hi, I'm Sennah Yee, and I'm going to catch every bus, train, and streetcar right on time. Hi, I'm Sennah Yee, and I'm going to take a full lunch break. Hi, I'm Sennah Yee, and I'm going to unsubscribe from this mailing list. Hi, I'm Sennah Yee, and I'm going to take the stairs. Hi, I'm Sennah Yee, and I'm going to tell her that I miss her. Hi, I'm Sennah Yee, and I'm going to go outside today. Hi, I'm Sennah Yee, and I'm going to stay in tonight. Hi, I'm Sennah Yee, and I'm not going to say goodbye. And this next one is Everything Everywhere All at Once. How can you ignore lifetimes of pain and joy and dreams trapped in your cells? I've been thinking a lot about my ancestors after straying from them for so long. You know the drill by this point. I wanted big doe eyes. I thought jade looked tacky. I'd even wince at the word, ancestor. Sad, isn't it? To uproot your own roots. The first time I touched Asian soil, I cried without meaning to. Coming home, an ocean away from home. These days I try to talk to my roots because I hear that helps them grow, but what do I know? You and I have spent lifetimes growing apart, growing apart. And now I'm here buying a $20 jade pendant off Etsy from someone in the UK, another ocean away from home. The pendant arrives just days before I see this movie, and with it hanging around my neck, I notice Michelle Yeoh wearing the same one. Does it mean something? I don't think so, but I want it to. It's hard to explain. Sometimes I think, ancestors, if only you could see me now, drifting down the wrong road, fumbling my keys in the dark, dreaming my way back to you. I hope you'll still have me. I'll leave my shoes at the door and I'll boil the water. I'll bring you your slippers and I'll move your chair into the sun. And you'll squint and gently pull at the gold chain of my jade pendant and ask, is it real? This one's called Crash. David Cronenberg Crash, not the other bad one. Have to clarify. Crash. Fingers curled around the wheel, my neck. I believe in machine as myth, vehicle as vessel, welded and wet. This one's called The Thing. So what if I trust everyone, everything right away? Give me one reason why I shouldn't. Tell me why I shouldn't believe that my body is what it is, that my skin can contain everything moving around inside of me, that my ribs will stay intact when I burst a belly laugh, that my heart will keep beating while I sleep. Who's to say? I watch the moons of my nails wax and wane and wax and wane. I pick at the skin on my head like an animal. I am an animal, and an animal that no one trusts. No one, nothing is scarier than someone exactly like you, who everyone is scared of. This one's called No Country for Old Men. What do I dream of the most? Well, let's see. Money, mommy, heaven, hell, you tell me. I'll keep retracing my steps over yours if that'll lead me to it. Sure, maybe I'll never catch up to you, but you'll be the one always looking back at me. Watching me pause to rest under the same sharp shade. Watching me watch our ghosts echo on blank TV screens, lapping leftovers. You know, whenever you come to me in a dream, I wonder if it's you or God telling me to believe. And when I wake up, all I can remember is that feeling. You know it, I just said it. Gazing over your shoulder, straight ahead at what waits behind. This one's called Gladiator. Fingers tracing a memory meadow. You only like me when I am crumpled. Chin dropping to my collarbones, an apology or prayer. This one's called Suspiria. Sometimes when I was young and would find stray strands of my hair on the floor, I'd flinch with disgust. A part of me, apart. I'd react the same to dust, knowing it was dead skin. I often forget my skin is alive. Sometimes I scratch it in my sleep and it cracks and bleeds, and I wake up and twist my neck like a swan to look back at myself in the mirror and inspect the damage. And then my skin heals and scars and fades all by itself without me telling it to, because it is alive. I am alive. Sometimes I fold my body in half to look at the hair on my shins, and it looks alien. Sometimes I pluck it or wax it or shave it so I can be happy for a little bit as a skinned little thing. And then the hair grows back in shards. If you had to choose, would you prefer to jump or to crawl out of your skin? I'm most scared of a live body, dripping and hairy. This one's called Don't Look Up. Just please tell me how it ends. Actually, no, just tell me how I go. You see, I can't take it anymore. I have nothing left to give. It's easy to care, even easier not to. I don't know, it's hard to explain. I want to be better, but I don't know how or how much time I have. If I knew I had no time left, I'd like to think I'd do something, be someone, go somewhere different. But the truth is that I'd still pray only when I want something to go my way, And I'd still go to church only if I wanted to remember how it feels to be around people who believe in something. What do I know about worship? I wanted to be baptized only so that everyone could look at me. It's true. And my last poem is called Showing Up. Listen, if I didn't have to do this, I wouldn't. Would I? Sitting at my laptop, dangling a carrot in front of myself, self-hypnosis. I don't know much, but I do know that when I don't know how to properly express a feeling, like that I'm so much smaller, yet smarter than this, than that, it's agony. Looking up a rival who doesn't know I exist, just existing. Looking up the Greek roots of agony, and it comes from struggle, but also contest. Picking at a wound, self-inflicted, while it's self-healing. Picking at a poem, like this one, that should already be done. Thanks so much.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Son. I love those new poems. And I also love the idea of wanting to get baptized just so everyone looks at you. You get baptized twice. Excellent. All right. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Sarah Jean Grimm. As a reminder, y'all, I hope you are recording moments that you like and that resonate with you from the readings for the writing activity that we're going to be doing. Readers, you are part of that. All right, sweet. Sarah Jean Grimm is the author of Soft Focus, which won the Metatron Press Prize back in 2016, and the chapbook Hog Lagoon, which is out recently from Blush. She was a founding editor of Powder Keg magazine, which ran from 2014 to 2019, and currently edits the Small Poetry Press After Hours editions. She lives in upstate New York and works as a book publicist. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you, Sennah. That was incredible. It's so good to see all your faces and names. I'm going to read a couple from the new chapbook. Object Permanence. Making out inside a Richard Serra strikes me as the right way to take in art. Like embracing an echo, the moment examined mercurifies an eviscerated longing. I feel like a voyeur eating warm cheese at the gallery among paintings of American landscapes. Green grasses greedily all over. Pockets of bounty and fetishistic boundaries. Everywhere evidence of the delusion of control. Off-canvas tract houses and company towns. For now, a small rock spins as green as glades, green as moss, as dollars. Another day, another heist of the present to pay for the past. The cash cow has failed to lactate forever. Where are the wise graziers who would recognize refusal as referendum? Even in winter, we stand here insisting, a good party never ends. It merely liquids into aspirin. And poetry isn't dead. It's gone to live on an upstate farm. The world is like that also, getting over its need to be seen. This one is the first in the collection, and it's the one that Ashley and Rochelle quoted in their micro meta series, so I figured I would read it in its entirety. It's called Against Nature. The best intention is a dark thought in a dark room. The body has temples, and my skull is a cathedral, hiding me behind a face I do not choose. My default expression is worried. People are always asking me what's wrong. I dole out assurances, but what is wrong? I do not wish to be seen out of the house today. I get anti-nature behind walls of my choosing. I like a shared solitude, an apartmental landscape of erotic hearing. If I close my eyes, I can hear my blood calling out to me. The summer air is a loud mouth I must step into. I sweat into cotton, my hair non-compliant, a monument to weather ever expanding. The truth is, I'm no different from the beasts of the land. This is the knowledge it takes to sustain me. An ant in a long line of ants. I keep myself occupied. Under my carapace, the firmament divided, objects given names, assigned values. The fact is, my money is paid for. Men wield some power, but have yet to learn. The earth is a mom. Build a wall, and it will come down, positively uterine. I did a reading the other night. I followed that poem up with this one called Toilet Water, and now I'm like, that just is the natural segue. So I'm going to do that again now. Toilet water. I want to say something about the obdurate slowness of a day with nothing at stake, when time slips into something more complex, when I weigh the austerity of a bank against the unknowable capacity of the future, the circumstances that can land a person in a shallow grave on the Jersey Shore, beyond the pale but above the fold. A moment of silence for a craving for justice. There's nothing I can do besides put my cat on a diet, prepare the trophy cabinet for its strange signifiers, plot against the advances of a preordained wrinkle. I've made zero effort to monetize my wellness, however temporary, preferring instead to challenge my organs, kind of jeopardy played to a lullaby. Lottery numbers drawn from fortune cookies. Being alive is a biohazard. Still, I nurture an impulse to nurture. It's more autobiography than analysis, but I accept the moon's critique of the sun. And I'm a quick study. I can resemble a mirror in the dark. It's midnight in America. There's nothing that can't be bottled and sold. A fragrance line aiming to capture the scent of a coupon-stuffed mailbox, the fate of the African elephant, humanity's long trick candle wick, toiling to stay lit. Garden and gun. The house was quiet and the world greased my palm. The air outside a weighted blanket, scarab shells rising with the pitch of their hiss. In the shadow of a bodacious oak, I thought of a famous actor, redefining his career by going back to his roots, as if he could pause mid-swing in the cradle of his youth and brush again against the soft bumper of a parental hand. In a park sparkling with trash, strands of strangers' conversations peeled toward me. I don't qualify as comfortable in nature. Whatever we bury becomes feedstock for a new plasticity. I once observed a man littering gingerly by placing a candy wrapper and a soda cup on his truck running board, then peeling out, letting the wind do its thing, as if he couldn't commit to his intention, not yet, like a serial killer beta testing his capacity on small animals, the family garden filling with private thrills, green parakeets trilling over scummy koi ponds, designed an illusion, death and complicity, billowing by like a motorcade of cattle. There's a pungent ribboning after. Affectation is deadly and decency as deceptive as corrals hugging cow flanks, as cellophane delivering shoulders cleanly to fast casuals with 2-star reviews. Market logic demands erasure. I looked up the correct pronunciation of paprika, and there were several. Grief logic demands detours such as this. I rattled their contents as I taped the boxes closed and locked them in the cool garage. The house was quiet, and the world was not yet calm, the new forgetting, still frothing into acquiescence. And I'll just read one more. This one's called Mall Baby. It's kind of a pandemic poem if nobody's tired of those yet. It was a year of flaccid resolutions and frozen entrees, historically ordinary, how time ballooned and resisted rhythm. There was the day the blue barrel floated by, the day the hawk flew close enough for us to see its red tail, the day the squirrel brought its body weight in bread up the catalpa. Later, a stale, half-bitten baguette appeared on the patio table, a picnic abandoned to bad weather. It's raining and I'm reading the news. There's a piece on the popularity of parks. Someone is quoted saying, "When I'm in nature, I think natural thoughts." And I know what that's like. Here, you can buy your own beliefs, while the sun makes another bid, and people are airing out their despair. People are out playing frisbee. People are out saving the economy. David Byrne says, shopping is a feeling. I'm returned to the mall of my mind, the one still crowded with people and in the heart of Rome. For the piazza is not the mirror, but the mirage of a mall. Everyone is dressed in jewel tones there, though the quality of light is stale bread. To be part of the collective experience, you have to want something pointless. And it isn't embarrassing to want it publicly. I came of age at that mall, had my first kiss at that mall. I thought Dan's tongue tasted like hamburger. A high-frequency security sound was piercing my ears. What I must have sensed was a sickness, maybe even an evil. The coins were rolling themselves and threatening. I was revolted, but I didn't stop there. Thank you.
When I'm in nature, I think natural thoughts. Incredible. Thank you so much, Sarah Jane.
Not an original line, truly a quote, but
Right.
definitely incredible.
So good. Oh my God. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Next up, we have Casey Bell, one of our first new Metatron authors of the night. We've got Casey Bell, who has an MFA from the University of Nevada, Reno. Her debut short story collection, Little Fury, is out now with Metatron Press. Casey's fiction appears in Sequestrum, Cream City Review, New South, The Boiler, Reed Magazine, The New Limestone Review, and Timber. She was shortlisted for the Iowa Review Fiction Award and was a finalist for the American Short Fiction Halifax Ranch Prize, the University of New Orleans Publishing Lab Prize, and the Calvino Prize. Casey is the co-director of Girls Rock Reno, a music camp for self-identified girls, trans, and gender-expansive youth. She's also the proud mother of a pug mix named Maud, who I hope we get to see tonight. Welcome, Casey.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here and so honored to be in the company of so many incredible writers. So I'm going to share just an excerpt from a story called Sybil and the Saguaro. Sybil was sleep-starved since the baby was born. For the past 10 weeks, she'd had only 2 or 3 hour reprieves between the crying. In his crib, Elliot wailed in piercing, severe screams, so hard that Sybil thought he'd blow his little lungs out. He was premature and colicky, born with no hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes. Pale blue veins traced beneath his translucent skin. Elliot's eyes were black like his father's, and when Sybil looked into them, no matter how hard she searched, she couldn't connect. He wouldn't latch to the Sybil's breast, a condition her doctor called nipple confusion. He writhed and resisted when she tried to place him in a nursing position, straining to find the muscles to turn his face away from her. If Elliot wasn't sleeping, he was screaming. Sybil's husband, Ted, tried to be helpful. He made oversized portions of Sybil's favorite foods, like he'd done before Elliot was born. While she was in her 3rd trimester, Ted did all of the cooking, and Sybil would sit under a blanket on the couch, eating bowls of mashed potatoes with butter and garlic, and fat noodles smothered in tomato sauce. Ted made chocolate chip cookies, and Sybil ate them hot out of the oven with big, chilled glasses of milk. Careful not to wake her, he quietly collected the dishes stacked on her basketball belly. Now, though, the thought of food passing through her seemed grotesque. She was torn and needed stitches after the birth. There was blood and swelling and burning. Sybil wanted some semblance of control over her body's mechanisms. Still, Ted cooked, and untouched, foil-covered dishes filled the fridge. Sybil was frail, and her cheekbones jutted, but what did it matter if she wasn't nursing? She could not produce the milk that the baby did not want. A neat little circle of nothing, Sybil thought. Ted told her all of the time that she wasn't being patient enough, that things would get better. The baby would sleep, he insisted. Her body would mend. All of this was natural. Sybil thought about the slow death of a wide-eyed wildebeest, jerking between the clenched, bloody fangs of a lion on the savannah, and how that was natural too. Ted was always trying to calm Sybil down, insisting she needed to give herself time to adjust. The last time he told her to be patient, they were in the car on the way home from one of Elliot's checkups, and Sybil thought of driving off the road. It was midnight when she left. She'd just put Elliot back in his crib after giving him a bottle and swaddling him snugly. The baby never seemed comforted or sated, only like he'd exhausted himself. Ted snored on his back with his mouth agape. Sybil moved through the dark house, her cotton nightgown skimming the floorboards. She stopped before the front door and slid on her brown leather sandals without thinking to close the door behind her. She stepped out into the clear, cold air. Sybil walked down the driveway to the quiet street, rows of porch lights and lampposts illuminating one manicured lawn after the next. The neighborhood hummed a hushed white noise while everyone slept in their designated spaces. She walked and walked, falling into a mindless rhythm. Sybil went for miles. Spaces between the houses grew longer until the Catalina suburbs fell away and she was alone on the dark road under the sprawling, star-strewn sky. The moon was slung low, a lone pearly eyeball. Sybil walked toward it, staring straight into its glow. Moonbeams stretched down and looped around her, pulling her onward. She moved away from the road, deep into the Sonoran desert. Clumps of saltbush and June grass peppered the gently sloping hills. Giant saguaros reached their arms to the inky sky, suspended in holy praise. It was hours before Sybil stopped. A pale sliver of golden sun peered over the mountains. Her head felt full of feathers, hovering far above her body, just barely tethered. Sybil's feet were sticky and raw. The sandals rubbed away her skin, and her blisters had broken open miles ago. Dried blood the color of the surrounding rocks caked in the spots where the leather had worked at her skin. Her nightgown was tattered and dirty. Sybil shivered. A mule deer and its fawn approached from over the hill and stopped to chew on a shrub. They were so close that she could have reached out her hand and touched the mother's long, sable ears. All around her, the saguaros towered, 60-foot titans, casting double-long shadows down the hills. Directly ahead, from deep inside the largest of the saguaros, Sybil thought she heard muffled music. She stepped closer, spooking the deer who bolted on spring-like legs. Her movements felt illusory, like she was walking underwater or on the moon. The cactus called to her. The earth crunched beneath her burning feet as she made her way closer to the looming queen. Gleaming silver spines protruded from hundreds of green areolas. Sybil placed her fingers between two of its long vertical ribs where there were no spines, and the flesh felt warm and silken. The warmth radiated up her arm into her chest. She looked up to the very top of the trunk, to the giant's crown. The music was clearer now and seemed familiar. Sybil wanted to be closer, to be enveloped. She bent down to remove her dirty sandals, leaving them at the foot of the cactus, and stepped inside. Her muscles slackened and everything was dark. Then the music grew louder. Wouldn't It Be Nice by the Beach Boys. Thank you.
I love that ending. Thank you, Casey. Can't wait to get your book. All right, I'm excited to bring Ashley Obscura back on for our intermission.
Hi.
I'm gonna share my
Oh,
screen, Ash. Do you want me to share my screen for those instructions?
sure. I can also deliver them verbally, but I also quickly made up some slides today if that is needed. So yeah, let's pull up the slides quickly, but pretty much, I hope I introduced the assignment well enough. I guess I will say again that we're aiming towards making micro poems here, which is something that Metatron has been publishing on our Instagram for the past, I think it's been like 2 or 3 years now, and it's so fun. And they're pretty much the whole concept is that they fit onto one page. So they're short poems. But I love seeing how everyone was chiming into the chat with lines that were standing out to them. So pretty much my idea was that with this assignment is we are creating like a word bank. So anything that you've written down that you heard in the readings, whether it was a word or maybe a phrase, will potentially become a line or a portion of a line or something within a poem that you're working on. And originally my idea was to kind of go through like the whole reading and just to create one poem. But I've also been doing some writing on the side as well. And I've already created like one micro meta that I'm pretty excited about. And the way I did that is I've just been like writing down words, and then I've just sort of been moving things around, adding things as they come. It's really fun because, I mean, obviously everyone has like such amazing work and lines. So I'm really excited to see the end results of what people are working on. But yeah, I think if we want to keep on like posting, like I love knowing what other people what's resonating with y'all. So just keep on like, repeating lines into the chat, keep on writing down, things that are inspiring to you. And, maybe moving into the second half, we can start maybe trying to like form a poem on the side while you're still listening, of course. And yeah, if anyone wants to like share if they managed to write one in the first set, we can share them and check them out in the chat. And if we have some time at the end of the reading, we can also share them. But the end result will be micro poems that hopefully you share on your social media and tag Peachmag and Metatron. And that's going to be your ticket to be entered into a contest to get some free swag from us. So yeah, I hope the assignment is clear, but please chime in to the chat if there are any hesitations or anything. But yeah, this reading has been so good. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to hear all of you guys. Yeah, great work, everyone.
I think the instructions are perfect, Ashley, if I do say so.
I mean, I assume most of us are, writers in the room, so let's do it.
If they're not clear, then maybe we're sabotaging everyone else's chances to win. And who knows, maybe me and Aiden are going to be the winners of the 2 prizes that we're getting.
You never know.
Never know. Never know.
I guess you and I will be judging it. So, there's conflict of interest.
We may need to bring in Jacob to be an objective judge if that's even possible.
Totally.
I'm going to share my screen one more time, and I just want to show, let me actually just pull it up really quick. I want to show people when you say micro meta on your Instagram, I'm just going to see if I can pull up Metatron on my desktop, and just to give people an idea of what the final, for those of you who are
totally. Yeah, pretty much the whole concept when I first started it was trying to get people to engage with work more directly, as opposed to like getting them to click a link to go to our website. And I was like, oh, like lots of we were getting lots of short poems. So I just started like adding a bit of color behind them. So usually they come to us like bare page, and then we just added a little bit of color in the editing of it. And yeah, I love finding ways to like sneak poetry into everyone's day-to-day life. And yeah, I love the Micro Meta project, and I love the art of short poems. So yeah, and if y'all want to like submit on our website, there's also a link if you want to actually directly submit to us. That would be great. We have a couple of submissions open right now.
Excellent. All right. Any questions, chat?
Yeah, little poetry bites. Love it.
All right, let's keep it going. So yeah, keep recording, keep listening, and keep arranging, rearranging. We will we'll see who's gonna win that prize. Or don't, because I'd love to get some books from them. So we've got our second half starting now. Liz Bowen, Alex Manley, and Jayson Keery. First up is Liz. Liz Bowen is the author of the poetry collections Sugar Blood and Compassion Fountain. She is an assistant professor of bioethics and humanities at SUNY Upstate Medical University, where she works at the intersections of disability studies, health justice, and bioethics. She is the senior poetry editor at Peach Mag and the disability section editor at Public Books. Welcome, Liz.
Hey, everybody. I'm putting it on gallery mode, so I'm not looking at like my own face this whole time. Wow, these readings have been so good. I am like a little bit intimidated, but mostly really excited to be here with all of you. And also inspired by all of the amazing new work that I've heard. So I'm going to read a little bit from my book, Compassion Fountain, because this book came out at the end of last year for like a number of reasons. I never really got to promote it, so I'm going to read from it right now, but then I will cut that short and read some new stuff too. So I'll just get into it. So Compassion Fountain is a series of long poems. I'm just going to read an excerpt from one of them. And the poem is it's called Nothing Left But Magic. Generous mounds encased in basements will not feed the Pacific sore, but our compost won't save us when the time comes. I swear I saw a ghost in the air conditioner. I swear I saw an angel in the fan blades cut up like a flip book. When I turn out the light, the body works for itself, piling scar tissue on tissue, too much, a too perfection. And somewhere a Republican thinks they know me, like they know how to aim. The sea level rises higher than my premiums. The least favorite friends go to Mars. It's okay. I'm back here with my moldy organs and the pit bulls bust loosed from the pound. No relief, but at least no children either. Nothing that must be explained. Will poetry survive the move underground? What about when our eyes go white? The only one who can bear my pronouncement that in a disaster I will die of diabetes is a woman. Sick in the workplace, piss in the exam room, always having to piss, denying piss. Pelvis swelling as you talk to me about your empty thirst game, water and poison worldwide. What does it taste like displacing my urgencies? Over there is a cactus, and here is a spine. The thing about money is you still have a body. Not everyone is entitled to their own movements, like fence jumping or pulling up edible roots. Other people's families ask what mine does for exercise. I'm like, LMAO, they get out of bed. All day I dream about single payer, abolish poems about New England childhoods, the princess peas all the way down to the pea, and here we are, aggressive animals, drinking a kidney to stay alive, swallowing saturated rug, sweeping the sparse and sour hairs. Will you gut the old room where the salamanders sip from the corners? Someone's paws on the window pane, someone's wet dirt. We moved here as comrades, circulated like pamphlets. The thing about loss is, it has a smell. Disclose me like a mineral, disclose me like a rock, The fan is on and is out for blood. I am blood locker with the heat lapping my gills, my angular pupils, my ganglion love bites carrying futures like postage. An older instance thrust forward. Disclose your need so I can bring it. Disclose in invisible messages. What do I become when I'm gone? A mundane vibration. My devastation has many facets. Some are ribbed for pleasure. What if I were a locker and you filled me with blood? Slow formations of frozen and then unfrozen, glacial hate, trucking like night breaks. The whiff of sociality sets me spitting in the corner, rat baby back on my bullshit. The billboard of my recoiling desire reads, where do you associate and why? But I'm just down here in the couch soil, fantasizing blackmail of family men, wishing I was the kind of person who keeps documents, a true and pissed off goat, dealing with Satan to deal with Satans on the steps where I envision comfort as a hole in the ground. Meanwhile, at least, my square eyes, trained. Okay, so that's from the book. I think there's a link in the chat if anybody wants to check it out. It's called Compassion Fountain. And my first book, Sugar Blood, was from Metatron. And like everybody here, I owe everything to Ashley. She started my whole life as a poet. So happy to be here today. Okay, if my Word document will load, I'll read a couple of new ones. This one's called People Say Friends Don't Destroy One Another. What do they know about friends? Suddenly, everything vinegar is a mouthful of death, and it doesn't matter whether or not I wash my hands. We all agree with great chagrin, it is time to order the self-compassion workbook. Do not be the friend who refuses help until the horizon pulls up with its green annihilation. Do not be the friend who had them all fooled. The end of the world happened to me before, more than once, and each time I walked away with a textbook, Apocalypse Proofing for Dummies. Guess what? The house still sank into the sand dunes. I chose a family at the edge of the ocean, and guess what? I watched it swallow. Now the internet declares, I'm at a point in my life, and everyone, absolutely everyone agrees. As money lines up like a trail of caterpillars, and everyone, absolutely everyone becomes capable of murder. Standing on a train platform where nanobots called the police can now enter through the nasal cavity, I gather up in my solar plexus the shame of a person who could be pregnant. I put a run in the great gray stocking of the sky. And this will be the last one. Okay, this one's called They Gave Me Night and I Took It. The instructions for lucid dreaming say to look at your hands throughout the day and check if they are normal, because in the dream, they will not be normal, and that is how you will know you are dreaming. Imagine having a normal hand, I almost tweeted. Mother, keeper of the sad world, was the me I feared the most, gnawing my knees like a mutt in the house of other people's money. No, I will not have children, I said. I will honor the ancestor who wanted an abortion. I will craft a small but significant space for the anger of women who are dead and did not want me to be here remembering them. But here I am in Gainesville, watching 500,000 bats emerge from their own soaring houses of sex and death, feeling like I've been here. Somebody almost me has been here. In my 4th decade, I lose my fear of ghosts and gain a fear of the fine mesh of reality. The way time moves faster at the top of a water tower, the way some people enter your life like a meteorite enters a bird bath. The promise that something can come along and fuck up our physics before our hard jelly brains begin to grasp it. That's fate, or what we call horror, annihilation, a color out of space. Did you know in another universe we still exist at exactly the age we realize our parents were mentally ill? In another, the Rocky Mountains are as smooth and tame as the Catskills. In this one, here I am retching over the words nest egg, and here we are in the throttled future, swarming with biosecurity protocol. And when God says, do you know when the mountain goat gives birth? We lie and say yes. And when God says, will the unicorn be willing to serve you? We say yes. Thank you.
Imagine having a normal hand. Sound off in the chat if you have any normal hands. We want to know. Thank you, Liz. Love the new poems. Love Compassion Fountain. Next up, we have Alex. Alex Manley is a Montreal writer, editor, and translator. Their latest book, The New Masculinity, A Roadmap for a 21st Century Definition of Manhood, is available now from ECW Press. Welcome, Alex.
Hi, all. If you follow me on social media, which a lot of you do, then you know that I've been very much in like boring prose nonfiction world lately. So it's nice to be back with you on Poetry Planet. I'm just absolutely floored by everyone who's read so far. I shouts out to Casey for reading prose, I should say, but everyone today, like holy cow. I'm gonna read 3 poems, 2 kind of oldish ones and 1 new one. Also, just want to call attention to the fact that I'm wearing a Metatron shirt. Hell yeah. Sorry, I don't have any peach shirts. This is called Universal Language. I begin to write a poem about life, the beauty of leaves, the nature of things, the immutable sadness of a petrified forest. You know, that kind of bullshit. Like, do the macaws know their rainbows given wings? Does snow know its shimmer ground to ecstasy? Does the oil know its rainbows spilled to asphalt? A drop of heaven dying for our souls. We are animals on a space rock. If you described anything as alien, it would kind of sound like it. Blue whales are alien. Oak trees are alien. Jesus lizards are definitely alien. I remember that the photic sneeze reflex is real every time I set foot in the sun, and my faulty face wiring sets off fireworks. And that God is real every time I plumb the depths of viral science news articles looking for quirky nature facts. I mean, poetry. Did you know gold comes from outer space? Did you know there's a fish that eats things bigger than itself? Did you know the body sometimes alchemizes flesh into bone? I paper pin cushion the hearts of the great works with bookmarks. The Voynich manuscript, the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Codex Arundel. Inside everything you can find its own opposite, like how you are at the Inside everything you can find its own opposite, like how you are at the center of your own absence. And in Alaska, there's a place called Unalaska. The only universal language is there's a phrase in every language about what the true universal language is. Math, music, film, love, whatever. I play with words, a child again. Floodlight / flashlight / flash flood. I consider etymology. Where did foot servants come from? What links perma to frost? The way everything that is in the world today is robbing existence from something else that might have been better. How often do you wake up another Judas in the garden on the wrong side of someone else's story? A shadow's just the bruise from when the light hits. I talk about praxis, needing a therapist, the first person killed by an autonomous car, retirement savings. After a year in space, a man's DNA no longer matches his identical twins. I guess a lot of things in life are like that. Nothing's forever. You stopped texting me a while back. I think about slow violence, soft power, heirloom tomatoes, rainier cherries. Heart murmurs as a noun phrase and heart murmurs as a verb phrase. I often wonder whether it makes sense for desire to exist upon a foundation as shallow as a cheekbone structure. I often see a photograph of your face and lose the entire neuronal architecture necessary for asking questions. To desire is to be feral, to chase a sensation, a flame in the cortex, to translate an emptiness into presence, to conjugate. What I'm saying is I wish we had kissed just once. I live near a flower shop adorned with delicate bursts of intricate cages, so sugary to behold, the colors of dead plants, the songs of caged birds. I ask myself what the aliens would think landing here, encountering a singing consciousness the size of a city bus, giant living statues that bust out of the earth, whispering gas into the sky, or a pair of feet constructed to laugh in the face of the deep. Okay, poem number 2. This was published by Peach Mag in, I think, 2018. Shouts out to Rochelle. Sorry for reading a 5-year-old poem, but it's short and I still love it, and I love Peach Mag. It's called "Oh Resonant God," or "The Book of the Rising," which is exactly the kind of person that I was in 2018. You bathe in gold and think, the grass is just how the ground breathes. What a perfect joy to let your little heart run at its own pace, unleashed from your rib cage. What a joy to think someone let all this happen to you, one single you. What a joy to be a marigold, to be lifted on these beams, each new day a gift, unwrapping into a next new gift, into a next, into a next, into being in the ecstasy of an infinite bloom, a gasp of laughter from a beautiful mouth, a yellow balloon hanging nicely in the now. You can step into the same river twice if you can burrow into a song written just in celebration of your you. You can stand in the rain and not feel the droplets kiss. If you've become a droplet's kiss in your golden heart, did you know, have you heard the news, all flesh is grass and all its glory the flower? If you love hard enough, it becomes belief. You can be new, new, new forever. Okay, last poem. This is called Slash Fiction. It's like the only poem I've written in the past few years, and unfortunately, it's about pronouns. My pronouns are he/him. My pronouns are wait/what? My pronouns are slash. My pronouns are he/they. My pronouns are they/them. My pronouns are gay/femme. My pronouns are je/jem. My pronouns are pink/hair. My pronouns are twink/stare. My pronouns are yes/chef. My pronouns are yes/daddy. My pronouns are daddy/issues. My pronouns are just/kidding. My pronouns and I have a great relationship. I mean, my father and I are he/they. My pronouns are gender/free. My pronouns are marketing/ploy. My pronouns are spring/summer. My pronouns are limited/edition. My pronouns are photo/shoot. My pronouns are trans/agenda. My pronouns are a Twitter joke about how that's how an Italian person says transgender. My pronouns are clocked/at the hardware store. Just kidding, that's clocked exclamation mark at the hardware store. My pronouns are a suck/cess. My pronouns are a suck/sesh. My pronouns are sock/says. You're weaponizing your neurotypical privilege by asking my pronouns are they, them to do the dishes. My pronouns are ironic/mullet. My pronouns are dish/course. My pronouns are intro/course. My pronouns are in/bio. My pronouns are GoFundMe. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. My pronouns are them, thar, hills. My pronouns are sock, ray, blue. My pronouns are he, I mean/they. My pronouns are clocked by/the watchmaker. My pronouns are clocked by/the passing of time. My pronouns are not in the Bible. Just kidding. They're capital H he/capital H him. My pronouns are neopronouns. My pronouns are trinity pronouns. My pronouns are against the couple form. My pronouns are mask/femme. My pronouns are mask/off. My pronouns are mask/urate. My pronouns are top/shortage. My pronouns are bottom/up. My pronouns are down/for whatever. My pronouns are going/amateur. My pronouns are C/saw. My pronouns are Z/zir. My pronouns were easier according to speech-to-text software. My pronouns are clocked/in the boxing ring. My pronouns are clocked/by the postman. My pronouns are post/man. My pronouns are blank/space. My pronouns are not. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. I think this is the first time we've done a reading that's stayed completely on the shirt. It's so mysterious. And I'm very excited to see what it looks like. As a quick disclaimer, our Wi-Fi is like kind of being a little weird. We kind of cut out for a second at the beginning of Alex's reading. I hope that doesn't happen again. But I don't think the Zoom meeting got interrupted. I was afraid for a second that y'all would get kicked off and then we'd have to like rejoin or something. If that does happen again, just use the Zoom link again. We'll be here. All right, we've got our final reader of the evening, Jayson Keery. Jayson is based in Western Massachusetts. They are the author of The Choice is Real and the chapbook AstroTurf. They've been anthologized in Nocturnal Properties, We Want It All, an anthology of radical trans poetics, and a queer anthology of rage. They received the 2022 Metatron Prize for Rising Authors, selected by Faria Roisin, and the 2021 Daniel and Marilee Glosband MFA Fellowship, selected by Wendy Shu. A complete list of publications, awards, and interviews live online at jaysonkeery.com. Please give it up for Jay.
Hi. I was also told by my computer that my internet is unstable, so if I disappear, it's not personal. Okay, so I'm gonna read from my book that's coming out with Metatron. It's like 1 million tabs in it because I got 1 million readings coming up. It's called The Choice is Real, and it engages the concept of choice and queerness. In my specific case as like a transsexual person, of like, where is the choice in that? And that there are choices to make. Okay. I'm just going to start with the title poem. It's called The Choice is Real. I wake up most mornings to do what? Dress my genitals for occasion. What odd formality, what choices, a twat cravat, a Hanes, which way? Fruit of the looming cunt cataclysm, will I bite? I wake up to find I am asked to stand like brothers and sisters, will you? The scroll of psychic advertisements has pinpointed my ambiguous organs. I'm a match struck and drafted into a flaccid flame brigade of neutered fashion. Keep it boxed and brief. Boring means boring into the man. We've got work to do, being normal and all, given birth with no receipt. This way, this certain way, as if we had no choice, as if we had no bodies to move from, as if children had no bodies, to move from dream to cloud to the rain somehow real against my window. I can stand it, the thought of her here with me. Baby, I know she wants to show something of a tender thong song drifting to completion. Right. I'll do this one. I compiled a list of, I did a little research about movies about trans people because I had a slight suspicion that there was a trend going on. So I juxtaposed all the names of movies that are about trans people next to each other. And the poem is called Now Screening. Boy I am, real boy, tomboy, Shinjuku boys. Boys don't cry. A boy named Sue. She's a boy I knew. Lady boys, boy meets girl. It's a boy-girl thing. I am a girl, dressed as a girl inside. The Danish girl, soldier's girl, different for girls. A girl like me, girl. I am a woman now, just like a woman. Kiss of the Spider Woman. Let me die a woman. Woman on fire. A fantastic woman. Another woman. My dad is a woman, no ordinary man. Okay. The choices we have for the movies. Yeah, there's a lot of Disney poems in here. I keep getting asked recently if I'm a Disney dyke, and I'm scared to answer that question. However, I do have this persistent fantasy that there's I mentioned this in the Metatron takeover, that there's going to be a mature Disney dyke out there that wants to take me to Disney World. If you're on here, I'm just checking the chat. Just let me know. Okay, Bambi is dead by now. And the blood is now baked on my father's headlights from within the steamy terror of the Toyota pickup. We watch the doe twitching on the brightly lit road. My father shrugs. He says animals simply shake off trauma. They shiver their bodies and poof. All better, he says. Something I should consider. Get up, Bambi, says the prince of the woods, a strange name for daddy. Get up, mother is dead. All of the mothers are gone in this magic kingdom, this fabled forest, this movie. It's all about gender. The owl warns of life, puberty, and the pursuit of pussy to replace our dead. Our mothers are out of the way so boys can get up and get up and get up, Bambi. We need to keep cycling, chase tails, wheel through feelings like death, the evil deeds of dogs and men, pick up where there's carcass left. Don't worry, my father says. He shook it off, but I saw. She's a doe, not a deer, and she's dead. She's always dead. So now where do I learn woman, of which the owl warns, if my forest must hold men? I feel like the middle of this book is like all like shit talk or like I just like write a lot about people. Knowing this is going to be on youtube.com, I'm a little nervous, but okay, there's one person already told me that she like bought the book, so she's got to read this poem about me like fisting her basically. But it's cool, she'll love it. Okay, this poem is called Me Problem. Well, that was a negative sexual experience. Had sex with a person who said they were non-binary, but was shocked to discover my tiny penis. I spoon my trans friends for comfort and have an idea. Let's all give each other tattoos. They'll say T for T, except I propose we get two tea bags tangled, code. Not days after T for T branding my skin, I promptly have sex with an openly cis-identifying woman. A first for me, if you can believe, something in me still scared to be gay and okay in my cute new masculinity. She kisses me at midnight. It's New Year's and I hardly know her. Someone tries calling at midnight and that someone is dying. I don't pick up. New year, new me. She asks if I got a car to fucking. I offer a house and she scratches the back of my head the whole way home. Her long nails with gay ones cut short is hot. I'd do it too, but apparently I need all of them. Working my way in, about to ask consent to be fisting. She beats me to it. She unbuckles my Fitbit. She slings it off. She fucking threw it. She fucking threw my Fitbit. Have to wait until the next morning alarm goes off to find it. She says, I don't want that in me. I have no way to track how long I didn't sleep. Perhaps worried I dream of only loving cis women. Perhaps worried I came in someone's tits. First time for me, this time my tiny penis, the one in shock. Just because someone's femme doesn't mean I have to be butch to it. That's a me problem. She's deeply gay and I like it. She talks about another poet writing poetry about her. I tell her I probably won't. Okay, I'm doing on time, but I'll read two more. Bisexual snack time. I guess I'm here again, stomaching the streaks of bleach from past attempts on this long stretch of laminate lunch top, looking for looks of not love, but from who? Well, I'll tell you, from people who share my gender and people who don't. What a choice. What an interesting potential. Apple, orange, tangerine. What a wild polarity, me and them. Worth noting, to be fruit cupped in a pedestrian menagerie of sap. I've been tense ever since 2014 when a man sued Dole, panicked to find preservatives. Acid in his advertised as all natural fruit. Man, that's gotta sting. As far as looks go, it is true we stay young, not forever, but longer, which is why I am here again at the table with a new and engorged lunchbox. Do you like it? Bench slide from the stench of banana breath, and I'll tell you, we're not friends. Fuck, it's snack time. I've always hated this concept of time. Teacher, don't you tell me when to carrot. Don't you tell me when I want a measured treat. So tense from the contents of a Ziploc asphyxiation. I want to use the napkin I saved to wipe sweat from your carefully cut choices, me or them. Icebreaker. Do you prefer certain genitals over others and why? Why do you think that is? Because I think that's what we're talking about. After you copy the homework that I copied first. So now you want to taste. You want to share my snack, my time, and it's fine. I blame the overarching context of cafeteria, the lunch lady who never asked to be named. And I'll read one more. I was actually just at this gorge that I mentioned in the poem today, so I feel like reading it. It was like the gorge where I like first realized that I was a transsexual person. Okay. The day I knew for baby. Because it took me so long to realize that words like song are something, though not greater than flesh, though not more captivating than the bitter breeze that brought me. How to let it in slow. I thought window. I thought, how does it feel? Because the bend in the gorge moved fast that day, men aligning the tips of their dicks with the current because it feels good. They say, do what feels, because my bra, which they say I am wearing for sport, is wet against numb and inverted nipples, turning into an emotion, because it's time and tired, because my friend who I named Baby, who named me Baby too, tells me something in the gorge that day, tells me, baby, cis people don't spend all their time thinking about this. Oh, so it's that simple, because the vultures and the pine trees won't fix their posture either, won't stop staring at my tits. And the word feels good. The choice to speak it is great. Down in the gorge, an echo. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Jay. Fucking Metatron does it again. Picking the best damn books. All right. So those of you who have been collecting words for your word bank, we're gonna review the instructions one more time. And then I think we should all pause, go off camera and arrange, and then maybe share. Does that sound okay? Okay, I'm gonna share my screen one more time. Ash, if you wanna run through it with us again. Sorry to make you keep doing it. And then
It's all good. Just bravo on the readings, everyone. Honestly, that was the best online reading I've ever been to. Just so much great poetry, and I feel so invigorated by y'all. Not just poetry, sorry. Of course, there was Casey's reading as well, but it was also, there's poetry within Casey's writing as well, but you know what I mean. All to say, I hope that we all have some poems forming. There's so many wonderful, juicy seeds throughout that reading. Because what happened to me is I have too much now. I wrote down too much. And so in order for it to officially be a micro meta, it's going to be between like under 16 lines. I know that's hard. I think mine's like 20 right now. So there's a little bit of wiggle room with that. But yeah, just we can all take a little bit of time just to, you know, be in the poet's mind and move our words around. And yeah, I think as Rochelle said, I think we can take a couple minutes just off camera to do our thing. And hopefully, Rochelle, by sharing, did you mean like on camera or do you mean in the chat? Because I'm down for both if we have time.
I'm down for both too. I think
Okay.
people can choose whichever they want to do.
Perfect. So yeah, just work on your piece. We'll come back in, I don't know, a couple minutes to share. And if you need a bit more time, we recommend, yeah, posting it on your Instagram, tagging PeachMag and Metatron so that we know it's out there. And then we're going to be awarding a winner some free stuff. So please take part. I can't wait to see what y'all did, and can't wait to hear in a couple minutes.
All right, I'm gonna play some mood music. You can turn off your sound if you find it distracting. But whatever.
What if you could do
Oops,
SEO
that's an ad.
smarter and
Sorry.
faster?
That's perfect.
That was good. How was
Just
that
some
for you?
ads, just some ads from our, you know, sponsors.
All right, here we go.
Oh, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm ready. I'm just waiting for this girl to bring my daughter back. They went to the mall or something. Yo, well, Nokia and Jazz is on the Baltimore bus with Reggie X. But Wood's gonna fly in. Yeah, man, I'm not even thinking about it because we're just sitting here and hold on, dude. Wondering. Wait, hold on, dog. What's up? What's up? This thing right here. Letting all the ladies know what guys talk about. You know, finally. Check it out. Ooh, that dress was scandalous. You know enough to handle it. So you're shaking that thing. You cruise the page for the look in the eyes. So devilish. You like to dance on the hip hop vibes. You cruise to the cruise to connect the dots. Not just her been. She liked the pop because she was living la vida loca. Had dumps like a truck. Guys all the baby move your I think sing it again. She had dumps like a truck. Guys like all night long. Let me see that. That girl scandalous. Handle it, sticking that thing like food fish with a look in the eyes, devilish. She like to dance, like five. She grew to the group, connected out, not just her bed. She like pop, she living like in I love God. She had them like a just baby boy, I think it's singing again. She had them like a just all night long. Let me see that. I like that's not just her thing. It's like the pop because you was living a vida loca. She had dumps like a truck. That's like what? Living with what? Niggas thinking again. She had dumps like a truck. That's like what? Living with your butt. Niggas thinking again.
So, Rochelle, do you think that's good for time? I love this music though. I love that I can't hear the bass.
No, we
It's
can,
like a
we can,
poetry
we
reading
can
by
cut it
Cisco.
early.
Love it.
Can I tell you guys a story really quick?
Please.
So, when I was in the 4th grade and Thong Song came out, I'd like heard it on the bus like every day going to and from school. It was like all over the local radio stations that our bus driver would play. And I like didn't know what a thong was, and I loved the song so much, and just like trying to figure out using like context clues, I like ended up thinking that like thong was a synonym for soul. And that year I wrote a poem in religion class in which instead of soul, I decided to like reach for my new vocabulary. I still have the poem somewhere, but that was a really interesting conversation with the nun who taught religion at St. Peter's in 1999. Shout out Sister Catherine. Okay, Ash, it's passing the mic to you.
Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah, does anyone have a poem that they want to share? I think we probably have 5 to 10 minutes. So I'd love to hear some poems that were conceived here. Conceived here. So yeah, I'm gonna check the chat. Does anyone want to volunteer? And yeah, even if you weren't a reader, please feel free. This is our space. And also no pressure if no one's into it. I think how it will work is just claim a spot in the chat if you want to share. I could break the ice. I'll read mine if that's okay with everyone. And then Kelly can go, and then Sennah. Okay, so this is mine. Dreaming my way back to you, the only universal language. Embracing an echo, green as moss, as dollars. To desire is to be feral. The thing about money is you still have a body. I do not wish to be seen outside of the house today. I can hear my blood calling out to me, ever expanding. Disclose me like a mineral, moons of my nails, aliens. The earth is a mom, the moon's critique of the sun, sparkling with trash, moldy organs. A lone pearly eyeball, nothing left but magic. Our compost won't save us. Gold comes from outer space. A shadow is just a bruise from where the light hits. That is my micro meta. All right. Kelly, please feel free to unmute and share.
Okay,
Oh.
There we go. I don't know how technology works or how poems work either. Let's see. I'm on my phone, so I don't know if it'll do everything at once. Let's see. Okay. So this month, some friends and I are writing poems every single day. So this is also just going to go into that doc. Hi, I am dangling a carrot right before your eye, and it's a big old carrot, and I pulled it from my garden. Summer is here, and it is still weeping spring. At night, I want to grow and wilt and rest. That's the season, okay? Imagine summer as an orifice, loud, hot, and damp. I am convert to ASMR via Zoom, listening to sticky syllables warbling in Sarah's summer palette, long trick, candle, wick, tongue, too soft palette. Walk home at twilight listening to Casey Croon, and I want to go shopping with David Byrne, and I look him dead in the eye and say, get in, loser, loser is me. If your mouth does not latch to your mother, it is called nipple confusion. It reminds me of my first pride, my first real kiss, a girl with obsidian hair whose name is lost to the night, a birth without receipt, not store credit in heaven, OMG. Speaking of heaven, put your fingers in mouth. I want to undo your smartwatch with tongue. I will swallow the implications of this late stage transaction in capitalism. If my pronouns become thumb and mouth, and by mouth, I mean, yes, it is loud, damp, and wet, and which heaven is just an orifice. It's summer, yes. Thank you. Okay.
That was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I love the energy behind that. Sennah, would you like to share next? I think I saw you.
Yeah, Kelly, that was so good. And yeah, wow. I just love getting to hear and see you all. Mine is very short. No surprise there. I'll also put it in the chat because I do like line breaks here. What do I become when I'm gone? Will I still have a body? Will I bite like a mutt?
Great. And I do hope to see everyone else's online. Rochelle, I was thinking that we should put like a time limit on when people can post them by. That's very Capricorn of me.
Want to say like tomorrow by noon?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Cool. I'm gonna get the recording up in the afternoon. Looks like we've got, if you want to read, the chat's been popping off and I think we're missing some people. If you want to read, drop right now that you want to share.
Yeah, please just, I'm scrolling up. I'm not sure if anyone else.
This is so embarrassing. It's me.
Oh, Rochelle, you said that you read. Rochelle.
Anyone else? No, just kidding. Sannah does too. Sannah can go first.
Come on.
And Megan too. Megan, do you want to read or do you want to just drop in chat?
New money. Ooh, this is good.
But I won't turn my camera on because
Fair.
but I don't have to go first. Were there other people that you had said first?
No,
Please.
Megan, you're good. Please.
Yeah, we'll do you, then we'll do Sannah, and then Greg will drop in chat, and then maybe I'll close out.
Okay. I already put it in redundant to hear me read. Bury me alive with my gasp lacks plasticity. Meanwhile, the TV screen cradles dust. People always want last words to be like sand dunes, but yours are trashy. Heaven. Also, thank you to everyone because you're all fucking brilliant.
Also, real quick, Megan just started her own small press. Megan, do you want to drop the link to the Instagram in the chat? Let's go for small presses. I'll drop it. All right, Sienna, you're up.
Okay. So these are just the words that just words, only from words that stood out. 8 stairs, goodbye, wince. $20, off to the piazza, back home to boil an animal. Mommy, God. Flinch. Moldy garlic on a fat green beach. Masculinity, a bird bath of dying banana sweat. Beast's critique, frothing, flaccid, blood-starved. God, did you fool the rat? God, did the rat fool you? Mommy, can you blackmail a deer? Mommy, can you blackmail a deer? Mommy? God? Mommy?
Excellent. Do we have anybody else who wants to read? Greg, you're going to drop in the chat. Maybe one of us can read out loud.
I dropped it.
Oh, you did?
I could read it though I can read it.
I insist.
A sliver of heaven, the heaven that happens in the mall, in front of the mall, and its economy of boys, two in front of the mall, devastation, wincing agony, having to piss, the kidney, and going to heaven to piss.
Economy of boys.
Yeah, that's such a good line.
I'm gonna drop mine. Y'all's are so good though. I'm
Drop it like a mixtape.
All right, here we go. Poetry Planet. All I remember is calling out my loudmouth good partying basically into a natural feeling. Because I'm just going to say it, poets have more fun. Will poetry survive a pleasure bigger than itself, ribbed and hard enough Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it? Clap.
That's awesome.
I wish we could just keep doing this.
Poetry Planet is great.
I think that was Alex in the chat.
Yeah. So yeah, don't be shy to send those to us. And yeah, this is fun. I like sharing work at the end of a reading too that's generated from the reading itself. I've never quite done it this way, but this is awesome. I had the best time, Rochelle. How about you?
Yeah, this was great for me. How was it for you guys? Doesn't matter. Me and Ashley had fun.
Yeah, and the chat was so fun too. I don't want it to end.
Thank you all for coming out. Thank you to our readers, Sennah, Sarah, Liz, Casey, Jayson, and Alex. Thank you, Ashley, for collaborating with me on this. Thank you, Aiden, for tech support. Thank you guys for reading and writing poems in the chat and out loud. Fucking hell yeah, this was fun. This was another good one. Having a good time. Poetry Planet. Having a good time on Poetry Planet with you guys. And occasionally Casey, sorry.
No, it's like it is more fun on this planet than in prose.
Buy the new books, buy the new Metatron books, buy the old Metatron books, buy the new books by the old Metatron authors. Post your micro meta poems by tomorrow at noon to be entered for a giveaway of the new books. We had a lot of fun tonight. Thank you guys for coming out.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. This was such a great reading, and yeah, amazing. So nice to see you all. And yeah, much love.